One of my favorite spiritual exercises is reading through the sayings of the Desert Fathers and Mothers. They are really powerful. Now, some of them are really just geared towards if you're a monk in the desert, but a lot of them really do have an impact on living out our Christian faith in a fuller and deeper way. And one of my favorite is from an Amma. That's one of the women spiritual leaders. Her name was Amma Theodora. And she said, there was a monk who became, because of the great number of temptations, said, I will go away from here. As he was putting on his sandals, he saw another man who was also putting on his sandals. And this other monk said to him, is it on my account that you are going away? Because I go before you wherever you are going. And the point that Amma Theodora was making is so often we think geography can fix our problems, when the deeper reality is the problem is right within us. Jesus sort of made this clear in the Gospel of Mark when he's having the dispute with the scribes and Pharisees because of the cleaning of vessels and how upset they are that Jesus isn't doing this, that purification. But Jesus makes it really clear when he says that, do you not realize that everything that goes into a person from outside cannot defile, since it enters not the heart but the stomach and passes out into the latrine? Thus he declared all foods clean. But what comes out of the person, that is what defiles. From within, from their hearts come evil thoughts, unchastity, theft, murder, adultery, greed, malice, deceit, licentiousness, envy, blasphemy, arrogance, folly. All of these come from within and they defile. So often we look outside of ourselves to really try to discern, why is my life going so badly? We look outside of ourselves and we want to see why we are acting or living out life the way we are. Again, we think it's geography. But Jesus makes clear, as did Amma Theodora, the problem is within. If we're not living the best life we could be living, if we're not living out our faith as fully and deeply as we should, and the reality is none of us are, it's so easy to blame the circumstances. It's so easy to blame the people around us. It's so easy to blame someone, something else, because we don't want to do the hard work. And the hard work of Christian life is really opening ourselves to recognizing what's wrong with me. What do I need to change? And recognizing I can't change it on my own. Yes, I can mess it up, but I can't change it on my own. I need God's grace. I need His mercy, His compassion, His love, His healing to change the things that are going on within me. Now, yes, sometimes some of the things in some of the ways we're messed up are because of the way we were raised, because of things that happen in our life. There's no doubt about that. And that's not our fault. But how we choose to deal with that, to confront it, that's where we have to take responsibility. We're not responsible for the things that people did to us and how those things impacted us. What we are responsible for is, what are we going to do about it? Are we going to allow the person, the circumstances, situations to continue to control us? Or are we going to look within, seek the Lord's guidance and help to make the changes that will make our lives better, that will help us to deepen our relationship with God and to grow in that relationship with God. Because the reality is, no matter where we go, no matter what we do, it's going to stay the same unless we choose to change. Unless we're willing to face our brokenness, unless we're willing to face the things that are hurting us, unless we're willing to face the reality of how we have been impacted within ourselves. No matter what we do externally, nothing will really change. Our problems will simply come with us. They will follow us wherever we go. It's kind of like the definition of insanity, which is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. We have to stop living out that insanity. We need to open up to the grace of God and allow that grace to start challenging us to see the truth of what's within us, what needs to be healed, what needs to be changed. And confronting that not with fear, but with hope. The hope that comes from our faith, because that ultimately is the point of the death and resurrection of Christ. Not just the end point of salvation itself, but how we live our lives daily. It is about dying to ourselves and opening ourselves through that death to God's grace, His mercy, His compassion that brings transformation, change, and new life. Let's stop running away from our problems. Let's start confronting them. Let us allow God to heal us and to bring that transformation that ultimately is the deepest desire of our hearts. God bless.